Hey everyone, welcome back to the Desire Talks podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Bradbury, aka MrBritainX, and this is the podcast where we talk to sex workers from around the world. We find out a little bit more about them. We ask them your questions. So if you don't follow us already, get over to our Twitter and Instagrams and stuff like that. You'll see the links. And then that's where we ask them questions. That's where we get your questions to ask them. And today we are interviewing Jay. He is one half of UK Gym Bois. So let's get him on. All right, everyone. So here we have Jay. Say hello, Jay.
Hey up, everybody. How's it going?
So, Jay, I've said you are half. Am I correct with this? Is it UK Gym Bois?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. So, was it just you originally, or did you jump in together?
No, we started doing it together. It's me and my partner. We sort of do a mixture of stuff, really. Some of it's just me, some of it's both of us, and then we've sort of done a couple of collaborations as well. But we try and run it as a business, really, sort of together, I suppose.
Yeah. So what's your other half's name? Sorry.
So he's Joe. So he's sort of tagged on my Instagram and pops up on TikTok and things. That's it.
So Joe and Jay.
That's it.
Cool. So whose idea was it then to begin, or did you both kind of come to it together?
It was kind of a together thing, really. A friend of mine that does it, she sort of suggested it a few times, and I sort of said, I don't know. And then she was like, "Oh, just set one up, post a few selfies and things, like nothing too wild." So we sort of did that, and then I don't know, just kind of got a bit creative with it and a bit of fun, and kind of just got the ball rolling, and ended up doing a lot more stuff with it, really.
Okay, so obviously you were saying you were being asked. Were you being asked for quite a while to do this? Like people saying, "Oh, you should make an OnlyFans," or did it not take long for you to get convinced?
I had quite a few people sort of mention it to me in jest and things like that. I think because I'd done some similar stuff in the past, not through OnlyFans. So I was like, oh well, I suppose it's a better time than like now's a better time than never, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So you just said then you've done some similar things in the past. What is that then?
So when I was younger, I used to do, I don't know how you describe it really, I guess it'd be like foot fetish modeling.
Okay.
So like sort of like feet, like socks, trainers, all that kind of stuff when I was younger, which is actually how I bought my first car.
Well, you must have been good at it then.
So I wasn't a stranger to the whole world of it, but I guess it was more, that was mainly foot stuff, whereas this is obviously a bit more kind of holistic, I guess.
Okay, so how long ago was that you were doing the foot thing?
That probably would have been about 10 years ago.
Okay, so how long ago did that stop?
God, I mean, there's still a couple of guys that I would speak to through that.
Okay.
I guess you sort of become friends with a lot of people that you meet.
Yeah.
Through those things. So it's, I don't know. I stopped doing it kind of. I don't know, commercially is the right word, but stopped doing it.
So you're doing it mainstream, weren't you? You're doing it.
Yeah. It was through a couple of the bigger sites and things, and then it just sort of became almost like, I don't know, like online relationships, really.
How did that begin then? Did you start posting pictures, or did and then someone approach you, like from a company, or did you approach the company?
I think I had a couple of people message me about it, and I sort of laughed at it at first because I was like, "Oh, it seems a bit strange to sort of, someone in their like late teens, early 20s. You're kind of like, okay, this is quite new." But yeah, just it kind of was like, "Oh, well, bugger it, I might as well give it a whirl." So I just sort of did, and it was all right. So kind of carried on, I guess.
So when you and your partner jumped into OnlyFans, was it?
Yes.
Did you jump in with the feet stuff, or did you think, no, we're just going to do what we do anyway and just post that?
Kind of. It sort of started as it was kind of like mostly sort of sportswear pictures, trainers, that sort of thing, a few random selfies. As time went on, kind of developed it a bit more. We had a few more discussions about kind of what we wanted to do, what we were sort of comfortable with doing, and also had a bit more fun with the creative side of it. In terms of like the role play and things like that. So we sort of started to try and make more content, really, which is kind of like what we would want to watch ourselves. So we sort of were like, we quite like football kit stuff, quite like, old tradie vibe, all that kind of thing. So we just started making that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because you said straight away then sportswear, and I thought, yeah, you're definitely getting into that niche, aren't you? That the blokey laddish sportswear, tradie stuff, high vis jackets. Am I? Is that
no, for sure, definitely. Like that's the vibe. I mean, we always wear that sort of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like we might as well kind of utilize it.
Do you do that? Do you work alongside this and do like tradie kind of stuff anyway?
I did until quite recently. I mean, actually, until sort of a year ago, I used to be a car salesman.
Okay.
Believe it or not. And then after sort of COVID, everything went a bit tits up. Ended up doing a few random jobs. So I was doing like commercial van installations and things for a bit. And stuff like that, which is where all the high vis sort of came from. And then I'm not doing that anymore, but sort of kept the equipment.
To be fair, there's a hell of a fan base for that. And people think, no, I won't do that. It's typical. Everyone's doing it, but no one is. There isn't really much competition.
It's hard to find the content out there. I mean, I know there's a people that do it, and there's a few that do it very well. Credit to them. But I kind of feel like if that's your vibe, you just want as much of that stuff as possible. So
yeah, I mean, one of my mates, he went absolutely viral because of it. He was a scaffolder, and he's there high vis on some scaffolding, just getting his dick out, going wee, and then people just go nuts for it. So
yeah.
Is that the kind of stuff you do, or do you actually go full on? It is a fully ass fucking scene.
I mean, it started off, it was kind of just low key, sort of, like blowjob, nothing too wild. There's definitely some more explicit stuff on there now.
I'd say a blowjob on the job, literally. that's a fantasy, isn't it, for a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, I did one, that was a solo one the other day. It was in the back of the van, pulled up in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, most of it's at home, fairly kosher.
So obviously you were saying you were doing car sales, and then that was so about a year ago, you said. When did you start OnlyFans?
So actually set the account up it was less than a year ago. It was only like March time, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't really post anything on it until about July. So we've actually only really been doing it properly for about 6 or 7 months, I'd say.
Okay. And do you think it's going well?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like our follower count in the last month sort of doubled on OnlyFans. Yeah. TikTok, we only set that up about, I think I posted the first video literally about 12 days ago. There's about 1,200 followers on that already, so
that's really good.
Yeah, that's kind of blown up pretty quick, really.
Have you made a few TikToks?
Yeah, we've made a few. Most of them are just me sort of taking a piss. There's a couple that Joe
I think that's the best way.
We've got a little. I was going to say we've got like a little list of a few ideas and things to do as sort of a couple as well, because I think the couple ones are quite good. Yeah,
it's quite rare to see that, like couples being comfortable doing the TikToks together.
Yeah.
It's because me and my partner, I'd mention it, she's like, oh, fuck off, I'm not doing that. But you do it with a mate, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though my partner is my mate,
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm quite lucky with good mates as well. We have a laugh and stuff, we don't mind sort of taking a piss and things sometimes, and we've got quite a similar sense of humour and stuff, so it works quite well from the OnlyFans perspective as well as TikTok.
Yeah, I'd say now, social media wise, so for any people who now follow you on Instagram and Twitter or anything like that, I'd say they need to move over to your TikTok, because that now it's the place to be. People get to know your personality a bit more, your sense of humour,
That's it, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot more opportunity, I think, on there to be a bit kind of silly, be yourself.
Yeah.
A bit more engaging, I guess. I mean, Instagram I've always used from the get-go, because that's kind of just what I was used to. But obviously, I think certainly the younger sort of fan base and in general, people do seem to be moving over to TikToks. I guess it's like, I don't know, it's a bit less polished, a bit more kind of silly, fun. So like you say, you get to know people a bit better on it, don't you?
Definitely. I mean, Instagram I quite like for that because the stories, but the Insta police, they stop you doing anything. And then if you mention COVID, they then like shadow ban you or put you in, because they've got brilliant algorithms that clock on the word COVID's been said or typed, and they put you in this, they flag your story and put like a little COVID
Yeah.
symbol. But that isn't, it's just a way of controlling and policing. And the engagement's gone to crap on it.
Yeah, I've noticed the exact same thing, to be honest. I've had a lot of issues with stuff getting flagged on Instagram. I actually try to be very careful about what I post. I mean, I had one taken down the other day because the caption was apparently too suggestive, and it was about dropping a towel, and I was like,
really?
I was like, come on. Like, I see some very questionable stuff on there, and I try to keep everything.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
social nudity and stuff like that.
I've literally seen like when those netted tops for girls where pretty much you can see through them completely.
Yeah.
And this wasn't a sex worker. This was just some girl, and they're allowed to do that. But because once your account's been flagged as you're a sex worker, which anyone who does any kind of porn is, I literally at one point had an account. I couldn't post a face picture without it getting taken down.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, mine's not at that point yet, but I don't think I'm far off, because I think I've had about 6 or 7 taken down, and they're always like, I mean, usually it was, I can't think what the actual term is. I guess they call it like sexual solicitation or something like that.
It's exactly that.
And it's like, it was a cheeky caption, and I kind of thought, well, I read stuff that's posted by verified, celebrities and accounts, businesses and things that are definitely way more questionable than that, and they're being, sponsored by Instagram.
But like, the reason I kind of wanted to go down this route is it was something you said you wanted to talk about when you asked to be on here, and it's the fact that we get penalised, and like yourself, you get penalised for talking about a towel dropping. Yeah, we're talking about the unsolicited pictures. That I've done a big rant yesterday, and you seem to like it, where most people get sent an unsolicited dick pic or a vagina pic. It doesn't really matter. But unsolicited picture regardless. And then we, like, the person who received it, if they kind of backlash, like give some grief for it, like say, well, I don't want that, you get given shit that you're a weirdo. I mean, what's your experiences with that? And then exactly the platform's doing nothing about it.
I mean, I definitely think this has been a problem since probably the first time I ever went onto the internet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not just sort of specifically through social media now, but I mean, I get them constantly. I'll get, you go into a message request and there'll be 10 in there, and it'll be 8 of them will be just some random dude with his dick out, or some video, some random guy jerking off, and there's no like prerequisite. There's not even a hi or do you want to see this? It's literally just like, I'm just going to literally send you some like picture of my dick or whatever. And I guess the assumption is that because we're making those sorts of videos that we want to receive them, but it needs to be a mutual thing. Like you can't just throw that at somebody, and it's quite.
But regardless, it's not just because we're in the industry. I think it's worst for us being in the industry, but anyone gets them. Like the amount of messages I've just got from people over the past few days saying, "Oh, I get them all the time, and I didn't even ask for them," or they're from really like minging people, and I was like, it doesn't really even matter if they're minging, because I've had them from somebody who's quite attractive. And
exactly.
I backlash against. I gave someone some aggro yesterday because I was like, "Are you aware I was sitting right next to my partner then?" It's like, I didn't want it anyway, but could you imagine the amount of hassle that could have caused? So I just opened and looking at someone's dick. They could be like, "Who the fuck is that?" But luckily, my partner, he knows I get these, and he's like, "Oh, fuck's sake, another one."
Exactly, but if you had a partner that wasn't quite as understanding, that could cause a lot of issues for you. And also, you don't be walking down the street, or you're in a shop and you open a message and it's just a fucking raging very hard on it. It's like, bloody hell,
That has happened to me in Asda.
It's happened too frequently. That's the problem.
It happened to me in the gym.
I've had the same in the gym, and you're like, I'm literally about to get raped. There's like people everywhere.
Yeah. So, all right, you said then, because you obviously sex worker, you say, you get them. So why do they think it's okay to just send you a dick pic?
I assume that a lot of people, mainly men, probably have a bit of a thing for it's like flashes. They obviously get something from it.
Yeah.
I assume it's the exposure, or the whole like just sort of, I don't know.
They've seen me dick.
Exactly. There's like an air of, you didn't consent to this, but I'm going to kind of, throw it at you sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I assume that's a part of it.
Because they're not
Other than that,
gonna achieve anything. If I sent you a picture
no.
of my dick, are you gonna sleep with me?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I was like, I always think, what's the end game here? I'm like, you expecting me to hop on a train and come and meet you or something because I'm blown away at your genitals? It's like, you know.
Well, the thing where they say all dicks are ugly or all vaginas are ugly. You know, some people do say that, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
That's not the case. Once you've seen the pictures that you get as a sex worker, you realise, wow, there are some ugly peckers in the world.
No, they really are, and that sounds harsh because obviously everyone's beautiful, but I've definitely seen some ugly penises in my time.
Yeah, there's all different shapes, sizes, looks, and this, that, and the other. But I'm just saying, there are some ugly peckers. Like,
Definitely,
that one's got gangrene.
Yes. Some of them don't like healthy, and you're thinking, I think you should send that to a doctor, mate, rather than me, because that doesn't look right.
Yeah, exactly. But someone made a good comment actually. I'd want to see if you agree. So, say someone signs up to your OnlyFans, or any other platform that you're using for that matter.
Yeah.
Could they send you a dick pic?
I mean, I'll be honest, rather they didn't, unless it's a conversation that is obviously kind of leading that way, and I've sort of said, send me that. But I mean, that's pretty unlikely to happen. It needs to be, an amicable, consensual thing. If I just get sent one out of the blue, I'll probably just block them, to be honest.
Yeah, this is what I was getting at. Because even I said in my rant, I was like, Instagram is not a platform for that. So any platforms where I show nudity, it's either they got a not safe for work filter, so it wouldn't show, or it's a paid premium site that's VIP, and you have to be 18 plus to be on it.
Yes.
I don't just send them out randomly, never will, doesn't matter what the platform. But because they're on my OnlyFans, people are like, well, I've seen your dick now, and I'm on that place where you show your dick or videos and whatnot, and you're doing sex. Here's my dick. And if they just do it randomly, I'm just like, I don't argue back on them. I don't go.
Yeah.
I don't give them shit. I just be like.
It's a tough one. I mean, if it was on OnlyFans, I'd probably just be like, all right, yeah, kind of nice one. I suppose it's kind of the vibe-ish. Still don't really want to see it. Instagram, I mean, to be honest, they have to be careful because, I mean, with everything that I've had flagged that's been posted, obviously, like on the timeline and things, I've read through the community guidelines a lot. And actually, from reading through that, people can get banned off there from sending like nudity messages anyway. So they're going to just get banned off the platform if they carry on doing it.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Instagram is just not a place for it at all.
Yeah.
If you go to the places where, regardless, there should be some sort of, do you mind if I send you a dick pic? If someone said to me, can I send you one, please? And they were on my OnlyFans, I'd be like, yeah, go for it, mate. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's different, isn't it?
I'll give you a rating. I will, I'll score your balls out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's fine. I'd probably be down with that on OnlyFans. I think, like I say, it's just Instagram. You open a random message and it's just someone's dick. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So anyway, let's move on to a bit more about yourself. So you said obviously you like to do your sportswear, your tradie, your solo, your couple stuff. If I was to just sign up to your account now, your OnlyFans, what would I find?
So it's a mixture of stuff, really. I mean, I'll probably post on there every couple of days, at least. Generally, there'll be. What I tend to do is I'll post maybe like a picture on Instagram, and then I'll post the full kind of photo set on OnlyFans. There might be 5 or 6 more pictures. There might be a video. There's at least one video a week. Several sort of photographs that you won't find anywhere else on there. Generally speaking, it tends to be mainly me. So there's more solo stuff, and then after that, there's a bit more couple stuff. And then we've done a couple of collaborations with a couple of guys from the Lad Squad a few weeks ago. So there's some stuff on there. And then we've got a couple more collaborations lined up. So generally speaking, it's quite a good mixture with
So, just going to stop you there. The stuff lined up. What?
Yes.
Because obviously, I know the guys from Lad Squad.
Yes.
And it's not any. It's kind of like group wanky stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So there wasn't any kind of penetration or anything involved.
What about the stuff coming up?
The stuff coming up. I mean, generally speaking, it's the more explicit stuff will be me and my partner.
Yeah.
The stuff with other people is being fairly PG. I mean, I wouldn't be able to post on Instagram, but it's for any fans, it's not too wild. But the stuff we've got lined up, we've got two so far. So there's one with a fella that's kind of quite into his football kit, rugby kit sort of stuff. Who's actually coming to stay with us for a night or so. Cool. Next week. And then a friend of mine, she does it. She's been doing OnlyFans for a couple of years, and she makes some decent money off of it. Yeah, we're gonna have a photo shoot, I think, at some point.
Okay, next week. Just gonna stop you there. Sorry, are you gay or bisexual?
I generally say I'm gay.
Homo flexible then.
But that isn't set in stone. I don't. Yeah. I tend to be on the side of most people are a little bit bisexual. My partner is, but it's difficult really. I tend not to stick a label on it if I can. Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever heard that phrase, homo flexible? That's that label.
I don't think I have actually.
Yeah, it's as a bi guy myself, when I was like kind of coming to terms with myself and using that 1 to 10 scale of like 1 straight, 10 gay, I was always lower end. So I was like hetero flexible is what I heard. And I was like, I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I found myself like, I'm full on bi. Like, bang, there we go. You know? But I've heard of a lot of gay guys actually. I had someone actually message me the other month. He's like, I've never been with a woman and I really want to. And I was like, a bit of homo flexibility.
Yeah, I think I was a similar probably vibe to you, but maybe the other way around. So I'd probably put myself at about 9 generally. So, I'm not, you meet some gay guys and they're like, oh, vagina's disgusting, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, don't know, sort of intrigued. There's some women that I find attractive and I probably would. So it's more about the person, I think, than what's going on downstairs. My partner is, I think he says he's about 60-40 towards guys, but previously he's only had relationships with women. So it's not set in stone really.
No, I think that's a good way to look at it, because this 1 to 10 scale labels that I was dishing out then, I find it shifts, it moves,
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
You could wake up tomorrow and go, no, I'm a full-on bender. I just throw out words because people love their labels, but there's a good chunk of the population now who go, screw labels, just do what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my experience with a lot of my male friends, and I do have quite a few that have previously always identified as straight, is not many of them actually are.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, like from my experiences and from what I've heard and stories and things, I don't think anyone's as straight as they make out a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'd like to not say too much on that, but I concur.
Yeah. I'm not naming names, obviously. But...
No, exactly. All right, then. I'll tell you what, then. I'll ask your opinion. Some fans will probably find this quite interesting. What's your opinion on people who do gay for pay?
Do you know, I have mixed feelings about that, because I think having watched that sort of stuff in the past, you find it quite hot, or I find it quite hot. But then, I don't know, it's... In a way, like, I mean, I know somebody who's very, very big on OnlyFans and does very, very well off, social media platforms and things. Has got a very large following, who is absolutely straight, have a girlfriend, not interested, but he does a lot of sort of guy, like, sort of 2 or more guy stuff on OnlyFans. And he tags a lot of his stuff on TikTok, for example, as LGBT, whatever, gay, etc. And I kind of think, I don't know, I have mixed feelings, because on the one hand, I'm kind of like, all right, well, it's cool that, people are comfortable with that. They're living in a time where straight guy never would have, in a million years, would have kind of like honed in on that sort of culture or that sort of stuff. But then I'm also conflicted in the sense of kind of like, well, is that appropriation? Are they just sort of monetizing on, actual struggles that that some gay people do actually go through. It's a tough one, really.
Yeah, I completely get what you're saying, and I hear like there's people who like hunt down people who do gay for pay, but then
Really?
yeah, there's people on TikTok. I think there's a guy on TikTok where he finds people who do it, well, not gay for pay people actually. I think it's gay betas. There's a slight
Okay,
there's a
that's
slight difference.
exactly how I would describe the person that I was sort of talking about before. Is definitely like that. It's
There's a bit of a slight bit of a difference with gay for pay and gay betas, because gay betas might not be doing anything gay sexually, but they hint at it and they play with it and they do photos with other guys. But then if they actually go put their dick in an arse, in a guy's arse, then it's like, well, no, now you're gay for pay. But so a slight difference, but not too different.
Yeah.
But there's a guy on TikTok who goes and like hunts down these profiles and like, right, everyone, let's report them because they're taking something that we've
for sure, yeah.
But at the same time, as you said, as a you were a fan of straight guys doing gay stuff.
Exactly.
They're serving. They're serving, aren't they? They're serving a gay audience.
Yeah.
And
exactly. There's a gap in the market. People want to see it. People want to pay for it. Then who are we really to say they can't do that? In a sense.
And personally, the ones who actually do sexually, I put them on that scale we were talking about earlier, that bisexuality scale. That 1 straight, 10 gay. Let's put them at a 2, 3. And the reason they say I am straight is because they're going, I only am attracted to women like overall, and I emotionally am attracted to women. But at the same time, I don't mind putting me dick in an arse or seeing a penis.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think you're right there. A lot of people would say, oh, they identify straight. I'm only into blonde women with massive boobs, but then that how they might meet somebody that's male that they fall in love with, or they find really sexually attractive, and they just do stuff with that one person potentially. Does that make them bi? Maybe they might still identify straight.
It's this scale where it's hard for people to say, and when I think they're emotionally invested in the opposite gender, they kind of stick with, no, I'm straight because I emotionally want to be with them. But
it's probably the easier option a lot of the time as well. You don't get criticised and whatnot generally for being straight. Well, maybe by a select few gay community.
You might get criticised like for it when you're sucking dick on internet, like.
Yeah. I guess in some ways, I think I have a little bit of respect if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Perform in that way with somebody that you're not remotely attracted to.
I've seen people who are straight. I've been in scenes where they've kind of, there's just other guys wanking around. They've done things with guys on the internet, but this has just been like circle jerk situation where they're just like, I can't look, and they're like having to look away or get straight porn on their phone.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
everyone's level's a bit different in it of what they're comfortable with and what they consider to be sort of.
But I look at those ones after that and go, oh, you're definitely gay for pay. If they're struggling that much,
Yeah.
So back to your content coming up. You said you've got a collab coming up and he does sportswear and tradey stuff, kind of thing like that.
Yes, it's mainly football kit, rugby kit sort of stuff.
That's quite cool. That I like that because again, it's a niche. Are you planning to stick within your niches, or you're going to branch out?
I think so. I think we will. We always set out really with the intention of making the sort of stuff that we liked. Making content that if it wasn't us in it, we'd want to be watching. So football kit sort of stuff, the rugby kit, all the tradie sort of stuff is kind of what I've always thought was quite sexy, I guess. So that's kind of what we tend to stick with, and I think we probably will. Yeah. There might be some scope in the future maybe to branch out and do some other sort of stuff. But I don't know, if you find your niche, I think you do well to kind of hone it really and stick with it if you can. Yeah. Unless you get a lot of requests for something totally wild off the
Yeah, you can always dip your toes and go, not for me, or you go, oh, I really like it. Tell you what though, I can't remember his name for the life of me, and I think you and your partner would maybe enjoy doing. Have you ever done a photo shoot, like a proper photo shoot?
Years and years ago, when I was at uni, I used to be with an agency and do some like studio stuff. I did some catwalk stuff at one point.
Sweet, fair play.
Yeah, but not for a long time. I haven't had any studio photos done for probably 8 years, maybe.
The reason I was asking is there's this guy down south, and I can't think of his name for the life of me. So apologies if he listens to this. But he makes like these face masks out of trainers. Have you seen it?
Oh, right. No, I don't think I
Yeah,
have.
it's like he'll have like the tongue piece of like a Nike trainer going around. He'll have like the ticks going up the cheek. He'll have like sometimes like he'll have like a goggle, like ski goggles attached to it. And it's a full-on proper funky as hell fetish mask, and you wouldn't realize it that it was actual trainers for like until you really look at it. And he'll have he'll have them wearing that, and they'll like maybe be wearing a really cool jock and then really like pulled up rugby socks or something, or maybe some and it's, if I find it, I'll send you the links, because you should approach him, because you'd look cool with that.
Yeah, there's some really impressive creative like people on some of like the Instagrams and things you see, some stuff people make, and on TikTok as well. I think actually,
this guy though, he's a brilliant photographer as well. He makes the stuff, and he's talented in many ways, and it looks quite dark as well, as in quite like dark tones to the imagery, like very like grunge and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I like that sort of stuff actually.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to be said for people that can make things as well as photograph them. That there's multiple skills.
Yeah.
And like creative aspects coming together. It's a lot more impressive than I think if you're good at one thing and somebody else does, the photography and editing and bloody the lighting and whatever else. Because at one point I actually run a food blog on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And as did my sister, and it almost became like a competitive thing. But her partner's a professional photographer, and he had all this fancy lighting and fancy cameras, and I'm sort of doing it there on this crappy old iPhone. It was like a 6S or something that I had at the time. And I was thinking, her photos look so much better than mine. But eventually mine got better, and then I kind of thought, well, I don't have a professional team to help me make mine look better. So I'm doing the best I can. But if you're able to do all of that sort of stuff yourself, I think that's quite impressive.
This could be something, right? And we're talking about your niche being the labor in the sports and stuff. Let's get you doing some like naked chefing stuff. Have you thought about it?
I did it. I actually went live once on OnlyFans quite early on and did some cooking naked, but I can't remember if did get flagged. I can't remember if you got flagged or taken down for something really bizarre.
That's stupid.
I think there was like a bottle of poppers or something. I can't remember. So they were like, no, you can't have that. But I learned pretty quickly what you can and can't do on there. So
yeah, it's very restrictive at times. Do you use any other platform than OnlyFans?
I keep meaning to set up a Just for Fans, which I probably will do this week. Because I know that they're a bit more open with their kind of like rules and things.
Yeah, they're a lot more lenient.
Yeah, I mean, I know people have had videos taken down if they're like pissing in it or if it's in public, things like that. Which, I mean, if people want to see it, like, and people are happy to make it, I guess you need a platform for it somewhere. So
yeah, I think I might have to do the same, to be honest. I've been meaning to. I've got a Pocket Stars. Don't know if you. But it's different platforms have different uptakes or different fan bases. I think Pocket Stars really work well with women, but it doesn't really pull in the male fans. And obviously,
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever been on it. We do have a couple of female subscribers on the OnlyFans, so it might be worth actually me and looking branching out onto the.
Might be. Okay, so we did actually have a few fan questions, didn't we? They were quite straight to the point, some of them.
They were, yeah.
Let's just have a look at them. All right, so Joe, I'm not going to read out their usernames just in case, because if it's Twitter, their usernames are there for everyone to see. But they're hidden on Insta. I could share them, Jason, whoever you are. I'm joking. All right, so this person's asked, what's the biggest you've ever taken?
Yeah, I think that was actually the first one that I got, which, to be honest, I struggled to think of an answer because, I mean, I haven't really, as hard as this may be to believe, taken that many. So, and none of them have been ridiculously big. So I would say they've all definitely been kind of 7 inches or less.
Yeah, Cool. Because I haven't even asked yet. Do you top or bottom? It's not something I like to ask. Like, are you verse? Are you? It's one dimensional, isn't it? That question.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, I'm a bit flexible with it, but both of us are sort of verse. Generally speaking, I tend to be bottom.
Yeah.
But it depends really on the situation. Sometimes you want to slam, and sometimes you want to be slammed.
That. So average to slightly bigger than average, kind of. Yeah, that's what you've taken.
Yeah, maximum. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very weird one. When I say weird, I don't kink shame. All kinks are, but I've never ever read this question for anyone. Is, do you like getting covered in shaving foam?
I didn't actually really know how to answer this question because it's not something I've ever tried, apart from obviously when shaving. To be honest, I've been using a beard trimmer for about 6 years now. I've not used a razor for a long time.
That pretty much answers itself then, doesn't it?
But I mean, thinking about it, it's got quite a nice feel to it, hasn't it? It's kind of slidey, so it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, although it might be slightly unusual.
I think I might reply to this person for you, the one who asked about the shaving foam. Clearly, you have a kink. Clearly, you like people being covered in shaving foam. You could message him directly and ask if he'll make a video for you.
Yeah, well, it's funny actually. There is one that I posted on OnlyFans, but cut the ending off. Somebody did request a custom video that was me having a literal plate of cream and smashing Joe in the face with it. He was like, "Would you mind cream pieing him?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then he was like, "No, I mean actual cream pie." So.
But that could have gone so wrong. You could have done like a sexual cream pie, sent it to them. They're like, no, I meant the pie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad that we we confirmed what he meant before we did the video.
Yeah, definitely. Because that would have been like a hell of a waste of like sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it felt like a bit of a waste of cream but
you could have bet it off his face.
Yeah. We should have slammed it in some coffees or something afterwards.
That'd be nice. Okay. So someone's actually asking about your skin. Your skin is shining like a diamond. What are you doing for your skin? Do you have a good skincare routine?
Yes and no. I mean, there's not any one particular sort of thing that I do every day, without fail. Try to drink lots of water, use like a clay scrub in the shower, bit of moisturizer. That's it really. It's nothing too wild.
Do you do morning and night, or just morning for your moisturizer?
To be honest, just whenever I remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I get up and forget. It gets to like 3 o'clock and I thought I haven't done that today. And other times it'll be 11 o'clock and I'll be in bed and I'll think, I'll solve that, I'll go in. And then other days I might do it 2 or 3 times in the day. So.
Oh, that's good. I mean, it's good that they're noticing. I mean, when I get comments about my skin, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Because when I was a teenager, I had the worst acne ever.
Yeah, it's quite a genuine compliment, that, and it's not one I've ever had actually before. I mean, I'll be honest, if I eat badly for a few days, then I know about it.
Yeah.
If I have McDonald's, within 2 days, I'm guaranteed I'll have a bit of a spot, at least one spot somewhere. But generally, it's improved, thankfully, because same as you, when I was a teenager, it was a bleak outlook.
Was it? Oh God. I mean, but yeah, like you're saying, if you eat something bad, like mine tends to be hangover food, where you get fried chicken and kebabs and stuff like that. And no. So it's nice. So it is nice, that person, complimenting your skin. So fair play. It's not one we normally get. Normally it's like,
no, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. This one, we could go into quite a lot of detail, but we'll try and keep it a little bit shorter. Is someone always wanted to do OnlyFans, but they're too nervous? Have you got any tips?
So I would say, this is going to sound really cliche, be yourself, I guess. People are subscribing because they want to see you. They're not logging on to, a huge website where you can see endless amounts of the same stuff. They want to see you for a particular reason. So just be yourself. Make sure you're comfortable with the things you're doing. Don't do stuff you don't want to do and regret it later on. Try and make, I guess, content that, like I said before, like you would want to watch yourself, which is what we try to do. Just have a bit of fun with it. You can get creative. You can have a bit of fun with storylines. It doesn't have to be kind of boring or scary. We have a bit of fun. We did like a coach footballer sort of setup where Joe was like a coach and he picked me up from the the game afterwards and took me home and stuff. So you know, you can have fun with it, but you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. Just give it a whirl, and if it's not for you, just don't carry on with it.
Well, I think that's really, really good advice. So make sure you're comfortable and do things you enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all do that stuff anyway. So
yeah, one thing I would add on to that is, so anyone who is going to do OnlyFans, people are going to find out. If you want to earn decent money off it, just be prepared. So have you had that situation? Obviously your face is here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, most of my friends know. I think most of my family know, to be fair. My mum's asked me a couple of questions about it, which has been a bit awkward, but I think it's probably better to just be honest, because it's like if you hide it and then everyone finds out and it's this great big scandal, and then it's probably going to be more embarrassing than if you just up front and be like, yeah, I've done some videos.
Yeah,
don't really care.
Yeah, definitely, completely agree with that. Own it, and people can't hold it over your head.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say? Anyone you want to do a shout out to? Any just general chit chat?
I guess maybe just like a thank you to obviously the subscribers and things. There's a few in particular that have kind of followed me from quite early on and support us quite frequently in terms of they'll always comment on stuff, they'll always like your pictures, they always message you and things, and it's nice. So I guess just a big shout out to them. They'll know who they are. There's a few of them, so I'm not going to sit here and take too much time up, but probably just them, really. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's brilliant. So I do expect to actually see quite a lot from you over the next year, because as you said, your last month you just doubled. So it sounds like you're on a roll and you're starting to do more collaborations. So yeah, everyone get over to your pages. What I'll do is I'll drop some links below to your socials. You okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Everyone find those links, go check out the socials, give them a subscribe, and just keep an eye on them, watch their space. All right, well, see you, everyone.
Cool.
Want to say CJ?
See you later.
Bye, everyone.